Hi, welcome to Grandpa's Cabinets. My name is Ron Bolich, and I am Grandpa. I am Grandpa's Cabinets since I'm the only person here. And I'm called Papa by the most important people in my life, and that's my grandchildren. So I'm pretty proud of that. Let me tell you a little bit about me and a little bit about what I do and why. The first time I actually started doing any woodworking was 50 years ago, this year actually, when I was stationed overseas in the Navy, of course, as you can see, and they had a workshop on the base. And I went over there as a young kid and started tinkering with wood, and I made several pieces of furniture that were utilitarian in nature, but they served me very well while I was stationed there. And when I came home and got married, I found that I really enjoyed what I did, so I decided to continue on, and I bought a few tools and started doing woodworking. And now for a quick tour of my compact workspace, as I like to call it. I've got an assortment of clamps, just about enough to do anything I want. Storage for wood, my central vac system, my handmade, specially made router table, and my planer right next to it that I use pretty much every day. And then one of the newest acquisitions I have over here is my new jointer that I'm very proud to say I'm really pleased with. And then a year ago I bought this 1938 sander, drum sander, that allows me to make the boards that I use to make the bases for kits very large, sanded and flat. And my one acquisition that I'm most pleased with is my new Powermatic table saw with the 53-inch fence on the side. And for anybody who works with wood, you'll know that that's really important. About 15 years ago, I was building a model aircraft carrier. And once I finished it, it took me almost a year to build it and make it complete. And I looked at it and told my wife that really I can't just throw it on a shelf because it's going to end up being covered with dust. And as we all know, cleaning something like that would become very difficult. So I decided to go ahead and use my woodworking skills, teach myself how to work with acrylic, and build myself a display kit. And one thing led to another. I went ahead and started Grandpa's Cabinets because a lot of the fellow model builders like myself saw what I did and told me you really need to make these for others so that they can do the same thing with their models. Thus, the start of Grandpa's Cabinets. The other day, my wife and I were out shopping, and my wife said, I'd like to stop in and get a haircut. So there was a hair salon right there in the store, and she saw that there wasn't a single customer there. But the technician, the service person, the lady that cuts hair was there. So she walked in and asked the lady, can I get a haircut? And the lady's response to that was, well, I really want to leave in 15 minutes, so I don't have time to cut your hair, and you'll have to wait until the next person comes in to take over for me. And we walked away. My wife and I didn't have the time to wait for another 15 to 30 minutes for that person to get there. And my wife looked at me and she said, Ron, it's amazing how service has taken a back seat in most of the retail service type businesses like hair cutting, barbershops, things like that. And I said, that's true. And she said, you should really make a video about why Grandpa's Cabinets is absolutely the best place to go to get things built, because you provide the things that people want the most: price, quality, and service. And just for your information, I was self-employed pretty much all of my adult life. And the one thing that I can really say I'm most proud of was the fact that my customers, for almost 27 years, knew that if I said their particular order was going to be ready Tuesday, I guaranteed that it would be ready Monday before I left that shop, so that I knew that Tuesday morning, if they called and said I really need it, I can tell them it's ready to pick up. And that's one of the things I pride myself most about Grandpa's Cabinets, is the fact that I feel I do a first-rate job with every case I build. I put my heart and soul into it, and because I am the only person here who works on these cases, I can honestly say I guarantee you will be pleased with the result. Price, I really charge just what my costs are as far as materials and electricity, lights, and things like that, replacing tools that break down. and a little bit to have a little bit of spending money for my wife and I when we want to go out since we're both retired. But the most important thing that I feel is Grandpa's Cabinets provides service, dependability. If you ask me when will my case be ready, if I order it today, I'm going to tell you no longer than 2 weeks. And that gives me a little bit of a buffer. If I get ill, if I get sick, a cold, whatever, I have a few days to recover without worrying that I'm going to disappoint my customer. Generally speaking, I get most cases that are ordered out within a week. I don't promise that because then it puts me under the gun. I'd rather say 2 weeks. Everybody's happy. And from what I'm told by a lot of my customers is that they've placed orders with other companies, other people that build display cases, and waited as long as 3 and 4 months, which I find totally ridiculous, but it's what it is. That's what I'm always told. It's what it is. So regarding that, when I build a display case, I build it the way I would want it to come to me. I try to get the finish as smooth and furniture quality as possible. The acrylic is always clear without flaws. On the edges, I route the edges over so that they're all rounded. I heat bend most of the edges on the cases. I flame polish them, or I wheel polish them to make them all look smooth and clear. It's just what you expect, it's what you should expect, and it's what I try to provide with each and every case. People have asked me to build cases that are too large. If I pack them, they're too large to ship by UPS because UPS has weight and size restrictions. So I came up with an idea to build a display kit. My kits include everything. You get all the acrylic panels cut exactly to size. You get the solid oak, cherry, maple, whatever base, and all the other parts that form the outside edges and the frame top, all in the solid wood of your choice, stained and finished how you want. When you get it, the only thing you need to have with you when you put it together are your 2 hands. Sometimes on the extremely large cases, you might ask for somebody else to come over and lend a hand because the pieces are so large. But once you place your item inside one of my Grandpa's Cabinets custom kits, you will be amazed at how beautiful it displays. And I know that you'll receive compliments over and over about how beautiful your display has come out. Sometimes, and I'll just cover this briefly, sometimes I'll ship a case or a kit and the customer receives it and it's damaged. I've had this happen maybe 10 times in the last 11 years. When that happens, and the customer will always notify me immediately, my case came broken, there's a crack, whatever the case might be. I tell them right away, don't worry about it. I stand behind it, even though it's a shipping problem. They did the mistake, they did the damage. I stand behind it. What I'd like them to do is repackage it the way they got it. I notify UPS, I file a claim, UPS picks up the package, brings it back, inspects it, and then argues with me about why they shouldn't pay for the damage that they caused. But that's not the customer's problem, that's my problem. What I do though is once I know that the case came damaged, I immediately go ahead and start building a replacement for that customer, because it's not fair that the customer should have to wait for something that I did. Even though I did it on time, they shouldn't have to wait to receive it because UPS messed it up. That's what I call service. If a customer contacts me, I get back with them as fast as I can. It may take me a couple of hours, I may be out and about with my wife, but when I see that there's a quote, I get back to them as soon as I get back. Questions, I answer questions immediately. Call me if you need to. My number is on my website. And by the way, my website is www.grandpascabinets, that's all one word, .com. When you go on there, you'll find that there are several tabs, there are millions of pictures, there are blogs that I've written, there are videos that I've made, or actually my IT guru, Mr. Andy, has gone ahead and worked with me on those, taught me a lot about doing them, and also helped to get them on YouTube. That's about me. That's about what I do, and that's about why I do it. If you have any questions, you can always contact me through my website, through my email, ron@grandpascabinets.com. I look forward to working for you. I hope this has answered some questions and shown you that I am a real person. I am Grandpa. I am the only person at Grandpa's Cabinets, and I hope to see you and work for you real soon. Thank you so much.